So here we have Sonic Forces, which released in 2017. I know this game has had a pretty mixed reception really from the moment it released, but even as a die-hard Sonic fan, I've just never really been a fan of this game. It's not like this game is god-awful or has any major crippling issues, it just has a bunch of little things that really pile up to make this a very unremarkable experience. So the story starts out kind of dark actually, where Eggman finally beats Sonic thanks to his new lackey known as Infinite, and conquers most of the world, but all of Sonic's friends create a resistance group, and eventually Sonic busts out, joins them along with this new character that you create known as the Rookie, and vows to stop Eggman and Infinite. After that, the story kind of reverts back to most Sonic stories and becomes rather lighthearted. The game even has plenty of moments that even made me chuckle.
None of this is good, Vector. That's why it's called war. Whoa, you gotta be kidding. That's just a special effect, right?
Despite that, I was never really big on this game's story. Like, Infinite's better than Mephiles, I can say that at least. But I really just had a hard time getting into this story and its characters, and by the end of it I was just kind of like, that just kind of happened. So the big gimmick, the big selling point of Sonic Forces was the original character you could create. You could customize an avatar, and I know people had been doing it on DeviantArt for years and years, but finally, you could have your own original character in a Sonic the Hedgehog video game that would interact with Sonic and be an integral part of the story. And while I think this was a great idea, I don't think it was executed all that well. The character customization is decent enough. Look, I'm not expecting like Neo 2 or Dragon's Dogma 2 character creator out here, but I think we could have used a few more options. At least we have the gamer hat, that'll always get a chuckle out of me. When it comes to actually playing this game, there are 3 different gameplay types. There is 3D Sonic, there is Classic Sonic who shows up for some reason, and then there's your customizable character. Modern Sonic very much uses the boost formula, where you're constantly boosting, moving forward, occasionally going off the beaten path, and sometimes even doing some 2D platforming. Classic Sonic is strictly just 2D platforming, and yeah, it's Classic Sonic. Things are easily the most interesting when you're playing as the Avatar. Here it's actually kind of more like Sonic Heroes, where you don't go super fast, but you have different abilities and you actually get to utilize these abilities for some different paths. And these are easily the best levels of Sonic Forces. I think my biggest issue with Sonic Forces outside of the length is easily the levels. Like, yeah, as modern Sonic, you actually do get to go pretty fast in a lot of these levels, but these levels just feel so bland, like you're on autopilot the whole time. You just hold the boost button down, you push up on the analog stick, and that's pretty much the entire level. There's not a ton of platforming. The overall design of these levels just feels very phoned in, basic, and it doesn't feel like this game introduces a single new thing. I thought a majority of modern Sonic's levels were just very forgettable. And then we have Classic Sonic. Classic Sonic, for whatever reason, just does not feel all that good to control. Like, he feels quite a bit worse than he did in Generations and feels way too stiff for my liking. And then we have his levels, and yeah, there's really just not a single good level here. Some of them are particularly bad, like Jungle Casino, but even at their very best, they're just very unremarkable. And then when you're actually playing as the Avatar, these levels, yeah, they're decent enough. They probably have the best level design of any of the characters. There actually is a bunch of different paths to take, and it doesn't feel like you're on autopilot the entire time. This ain't so bad. And yeah, nothing is particularly egregious here. The boss fights are fine. The gameplay is subpar. But I'm not out here going, this is the worst this and that. It's just not very good. The game is also incredibly short, like 3, maybe 3.5 hours long, and it's just one of those experiences where I played through the entire game and like a week later, I barely remember anything about it. It's one of the most forgettable Sonic games of them all, and I never really cared much for it. I don't even really care for the music. I know some people love the music of Sonic Forces, but it's pretty whatever to me. This is one game I would have a hard time recommending to even the most die-hard of Sonic the Hedgehog fans.